bugs. I think they might be associated with the frost atronach. So I'm going to try to stop summoning that creature. I'll go for this foul zombie instead. I think I forgot to tell Hilda to follow me.
someone there? Hide from me.
I just destroyed a bunch of magical items to learn their enchantments. Yeah, I think we're done with this tower and ready to move on. And as soon as I get outside, I'm going to take a break. I'm gonna bring in my spider too. I guess I'm ready for the break. I'll be back in 5 minutes at 11:42. Okay, I'm going to resume. Can't seem to do this without survival gear. Without some kind of protection from the cold. I think I was actually on my side.
worst. You're not ready. Oh.
I try to warm up, then I'll go after that tamed rabbit. Maybe I'll have a little success. This is might be warm enough so I can make some headway. He needs to sleep though. I don't see a bed here, so I'm just going to press on.
The Legion's always looking for strong, capable warriors. If you think you've got what it takes, headquarters is in Solitude. Stay sharp.
Can't wait to kill another of Ulfric's boys.
How do you feel about this war?
You mean Ulfric's so-called Stormcloak Rebellion? The Nord Kings, oh, excuse me, Jarls. They can't seem to control their own people, so the Legion has stepped in to keep order. Sadly, the Empire's stretched a little thin these days, and we've gotten very few reinforcements. So we've been forced to recruit locally. But rest assured, citizen, we'll put an end to this uprising, and things will get back to normal soon enough.
What's the Imperial Legion doing in Skyrim?
Not sure I understand the question. The Legion's always been in Skyrim. We have garrisons throughout all the provinces of the Empire. Our mission is to serve the Emperor, uphold the law, and protect the citizens. Skyrim's days are darkening, and the Legion will soon be called into service like never before. But we stand ready, as always, to meet that call.
How does one join the Imperial Legion?
Think you've got the medal, eh? Honestly, the Legion can use all the able bodies it can muster. We have our hands full. A dead king, a rebellion, and now dragons. Skyrim's a mess. If you're serious, make your way to Solitude. Our headquarters is Castle Dower. You find General Tullius there, commanding our forces in Skyrim. But talk to Legate Rika. She handles the local recruiting.
Why did you join the Legion?
My parents were traveling merchants, eventually settling in Cyrodiil. I must have inherited their wanderlust. I joined the Legion to see the world. I know, that's one of those things people say, but it's completely true in my case. It wasn't long before I saw more of the world than I bargained for.
You from Cyrodiil? What's it like back there?
Home? Home to me is a hot cup of ale at the end of the day, and 5 minutes without someone needing something from me. Cyrodiil is a beautiful place, full of diverse peoples and histories. But so too, Hammerfell and Skyrim, and every other place I've been. Don't get me wrong, every country has its dark corners, but that's why we're here, to bring order and civilization, and to protect the people.
Not everyone seems to want us here.
Ulfric and his thugs are stirring up trouble for their own agenda. The Empire is the only thing keeping the Dominion from walking all over Skyrim. It matters little if some of the people here are ignorant to that truth. They are still citizens of the Empire. It is our solemn duty to protect them.
Sounds like you've seen your share of hardship.
The life of a soldier is full of hardship. That's nothing. But they send the Legion to places that have gotten too bad to be settled without violence. What's hard is seeing good people warped by evil. And I've seen the face of evil. It was in the air above Sentinel on the night of Green Fire.
What happened during the night of Green Fire?
Back in 42, I was stationed in Hammerfell, on leave in Sentinel, trying to track down some refugee relatives who had fled persecution in Alinor. Suddenly, an explosion of magic in the refugee quarter. Thalmor mages were attacking the Altmer dissidents who were resisting with magic of their own. I ran to the scene with other legionaries who were stationed there, but the entire quarter was a smoking ruin by the time we arrived. Everyone was dead. Wholesale slaughter. The Dominion, not content with killing dissidents at home, came to Hammerfell to finish the job. We're supposedly at peace now, but I put in to be stationed here to keep an eye on the Thalmor. I have a feeling they're behind this unrest in Skyrim.
That's all I wanted to know.
For the glory of the Empire.
Those rebels think they can bet. Not sure you belong here, citizen.
Still, keep an eye out for Stormcloak spies.
It's not that bad. The Legion's always looking for strong, capable warriors. You think you've got what it takes? Our headquarters is in Solitude. This Imperial armor is damn heavy.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
We're gonna try the thing again. We're gonna go after the animal that's up here. The tamed rabbit. I'm going to this cave.
And you thought I was just a pretty face. Your best?
Nearly dragging to an armor. Withershin by Yakut Tawashi. Alright, the Kazagha. Why don't you want to talk? Zaki put down his mug of meat and just stared at his wife for a few seconds. Finally, grudgingly, Because everything I have, a conversation, darling. It flows in alphabetical order. Just like I told you, I think the only way to stop it is to not talk at all. Could you just be imagining this? Said Kazagha patiently. It wouldn't be the first time you had an insane, paranoid delusion. Remember when you thought the royal battle mage of Black Marsh was hiding behind every tree with lewd intent on making you, a middle-aged, fat, balding tailor, into his personal sex slave? You don't need to be ashamed, but a Shogor has his way to make us all a little crazy sometimes. If you go to the healer... Damn it, Kazaka, snarled Zaki, and stomped out, slamming the door behind him. He nearly collided with Theosat, his neighbor. Excuse me, she said to Zaki's back. He clapped his hands over his ears as he stormed down the street. Turning the corner to the tailor shop, his first customers were waiting out front, smiling widely. Zaki tried to keep his temper under control and got his keys, returning the customers. Smiled. Fine day, said the young man. God, hollered Zaki, sending the young man flying with a well-placed punch and dashing away. As much as he hated to admit that Kazaka was right, it was evidently time, once again, for one of the healer's herbal cocktails. Tarsus' temple to health, mental and physical, was several streets north, and impressive Abilas. Halka, the chief herbalist, met him before he came in the home. How are you today, Sazaki? Zaki saw. I need to make an appointment with Tarsus, said Zaki in his calmest voice. Just one moment, let me see how it's going to look, Halka said, looking at Risco. Is this an emergency? Kind of, said Zaki and slapped his head. Why couldn't he say yes or absolutely or sure? Let's see, said Halka, frowning. The best I can do is next mid-dash. Would that work for you? Mid-dash, cried Zaki. I'd be a complete psychotic by mid-dash. Isn't there anything earlier? He knew the answer would be before she said it. There's no alternative. In a way, he had forced to respond. If only he kept the conversation going until why? No, said Halka, I'm sorry. Do you want me to make the appointment? Zaki walked away, gritting his teeth. He wandered the streets and head down to avoid all conversation, until he looked up and discovered that he had walked all the way to the wharf. A sweet breeze was blowing along the water and took so deep breaths that he felt almost normal. When the temper cooled, he could think again. What if this alphabetical conversation wasn't a delusion at all? What if what he felt wasn't paranoia, but acute awareness? He knew it was the classic dilemma. Am I crazy? Or is there really something weird going on? Across the road was a shop called Paradox, featuring a display of herbs, crystals, and vapors trapped in oil. The sign of the window read, mystical consultation, sunrise to noon. It was worth a shot, the Zaki was dubious. The only people who generally came down the wharf for healing were stupid adventurers who didn't know any better. Incense burned in copious billows of pink and gold, obscuring and then revealing the clutter within. Jijik death masks glowered down from the walls. Smoking censers hung by chains from the ceiling, and the floor was a maze of bookshelves. At a well-worn table in the back, a small man wearing headdress was tabulating a young lady's purchases. Okay, said the man, your total comes to 57 gold pieces. I threw in their sort of scale conditioner for free. Just remember, the candle should be lit only after you invoke Goroflock, the unholy, and Mandagur does best in partial shade. The customer gave a quick shot, smiled at Zaki, and left the store. Please help me, said Zaki. Every conversation I hear or get involved in seems to be arranged alphabetically. I don't know if I'm going insane, or if there's some kind of bizarre force at work. To be honest with you, I'm normally a skeptic when it comes to your type of business, but I'm at the end of my rope. You need anything to make this bad at the end? Quite a common problem, actually, said the man, patting Zaki on the arm. When you get to the end of the alphabet, do conversations, then go to reverse alphabetical order, or when you get to the end of the alphabet, do conversations, then go in reverse alphabetical order, or start at the beginning of the alphabet? Reverse alphabetical order, said Zaki, and then corrected himself. Damn, I mean, it starts from the beginning, all over again. I'm an idiot. Could you call this spirit and tell me, am I insane? Sariki, said the man, with a reassuring smile. I don't have to. You're quite sane. Thank you, said Zaki, for running. By the way, my name is Zaki, not Sariki. Unusually close there, said the man, patting Zaki on the back. My name is Octoplasm. Follow me, please. I think I have just what you need. Octoplasm was Zaki down the narrow corridor behind the desk. The two men pushed past dusty cabinets filled with strange creatures and liquids, past heaps of Neolithic stones, past stack after stack of moldering leather-bound books, into the dank heart of the storm. There he picked up a small, squat, cylindrical drum and a book and handed them to Zaki. Vampirism, dangerous possession, and Withershin therapy, said Zaki, squinting his eyes to read the book in the gloom. What in oblivion does this have to do with me? I'm not a vampire. Look at the 10. And what's Withershin therapy, and how much will it cost me? Withershin's from the old Cyrillic withered signs, which means backwards, said Octoplasm in a serious tone. It's the outer reverse of the direction of things in order to gain access to the spirit world and break curses, cure vampirism, and treat all manner of allotropic healing. You know the story about the guy who told his lovers lived in hot water? He said, well, let's boil them in cold water? Xenophus, said Zaki, instinctively, his brother having taken around that esoteric upper-level course in Cyrillic philosophy as an elective at the Imperial College 31 years before, and immediately wishing he hadn't. And what do you do with the cylindrical thingy? Octoplasm lit a candle and held the object over it so Zaki could see it more clearly. All along the cylinder were narrow slits, and when Zaki peered within them, he saw a succession of old black and white drawings of a naked man leaping over boxes, one frame after the next. You spin like so, said Octoplasm, slowly whirling the device clockwise, so the man within leaped over the boxes over and over again. It's called a zoetrope. Pretty neat, eh? Now you take it and start spinning it counterclockwise, and while you're doing your reading thing in case you're marching above. Now you take the zoetrope and begin spinning it counterclockwise over the candle, so the little naked man within seemed to bound backwards over the boxes. It's like a little coordination and concentration, he whirling at a steady pace, but gradually the man's awkward and jerky back jumps became more and more fluid, and Zaki could no longer see the individual frame slipping. It looked just like a little humanoid hamster on an endless reverse treadmill, while he continued to spin the zoetrope with one hand. Zaki took the book in the other and read the underlined passage. Zoetrope, counterspin, counterspin, counterspin. Pull my life from the rut that is in. I vote the gods Boethia, Kinnereth, and just convert my potentially metaphysical crisis. My own life may have been rather pointless and plain, but I just like the prospect of going insane. Make the pattern reverse by this Withershin, Zoetrope, counterspin, counterspin, counterspin. At the change of the spell, Zaki noticed that little naked man. And the zoetrope began to look more like himself. The mustache vanished, and the hairline receded. The man's waistline expanded, and the buttocks sagged to the shape and texture of half-inflated balloons. The other approximating his own Argonian pattern appeared. The man began to trip as he bounded backwards over the boxes, taking bigger breaths and twitting. By the time Zaki reached the end of the incantation, he twittered, clutching his chest and tumbling end over end over the box in a free fall. Octoplasm took the zoetrope and the book from Zaki's hand. Nothing had changed. No thunder had rumbled. No winged serpent had sprung out of Zaki's head. No fiery explosion. But Zaki thought something was different. Good different. Normal. At the counter, when Zaki pulled out a satchel of gold pieces, Octoplasm merely shook his head. Our treatment radicals such as effect term long, the what sure be can't we naturally charge now. Our treatment radicals such effect term long, the what sure be can't we naturally charge now. Feeling the first real relief he felt in days, Zaki walked back out of the shop down the road to his shop. This one's 55. $52. Rabbit is nearby. This creature can't seem to carry it. Let's see if the skeever can do it. Skeever doesn't do it either. These pets are going off with the loot. I guess he's in this dungeon somewhere. My character just doesn't wear armor. It's heavy and it not much good at this level of difficulty. Thinking maybe I could go to Varlai's coward. I'm gonna try. There's something up here, up to the north. Maybe I can find it here. Guessing roughly where that blue marker is. It's gonna get dark. Kind of cold and dangerous. Let's probably wait out the night in the Imperial camp. Then proceed.
Oh, quit your belly.
Hey, buddy, you hungry? Maybe like carrots. Coming to the area was a brilliant decision. The local flora seemed to have made a useful property that I'd be able to utilize into new potions. Outside, the rich soil has allowed the cuttings I've collected to grow into a fine and bountiful plant. This afternoon, I think I'll journey out for more mushrooms. My current supplies is beginning to dwindle. On a personal note, I have moved my alchemy work outside the shack. I find the midday air as a boon to my health, as well as inspirational to my work. The second scene. The rabbits here seem particularly adept at sniffing out a potion ingredient. I recently found one nibbling on my thistle plant and managed to capture it. It is my hope that I'll be able to train to lead me to those bountiful flora. 22nd of second scene. The rabbit, which I decided to name Thistle in honor of the carefully cultivated plant I managed to destroy, is showing great promise. It has proved to be quite tame and even rather intelligent. Getting to respond to commands, however, can be a bit of a trial. I've returned to apply it with carrots. Ooh, I have it. I believe I have that one. Let's get another game. Hey there, Thistle. Want a treat? Wait for me at home. Breathe some. Okay, there's one more animal to liberate. The last one is way out here. That's gonna wait. No, I'm gonna go up to the these guys again. High Hrothgar speaks to the Greybeards and some quests I need to wrap up. The Horn of Jurgen Windcaller. I'm going to pursue this one. I'm just gonna skip this cave. I've been trying to take you up by horse.
retrieved the horn of Jörgen Wimkamp. Well done. You have now passed all the trials. Come with me. It is time for us to recognize you formally as Dragonborn. Ready to learn the final word of unrelenting force. Da, which means push. Da. With all three words together, this shout is much more powerful. Use it wisely. Master Wolfgar will now give you his knowledge of Down. You have completed your training, Dragonborn. We would speak to you. Stand between us and prepare yourself. Few can withstand the unbridled voice of the Greybeards, but you are ready. You have tasted the voice of the Greybeards and passed through unscathed. High Hrothgar is open to you. Sky above, voice within.
What was that ceremony all about? Were you shouting at me?
We spoke the traditional words of greeting to a Dragonborn who has accepted our guidance. The same words were used to greet the young Talos when he came to High Hrothgar, before he became the Emperor Tiber Septim.
What did you actually say?
Ah, I sometimes forget you are not versed in the dragon tongue as we are. This is a rough translation. Long has the storm crown languished, with no worthy brow to sit upon. By our breath we bestow it now to you, in the name of Kine, in the name of Shor, and in the name of Atmora of old. You are Ismir now, the dragon of the north. Hearken to it.
Why are the dragons returning? Does it have something to do with me?
No doubt, the appearance of a Dragonborn at this time is not an accident. Your destiny is surely bound up with the return of the dragons. You should focus on honing your voice, and soon your path will be made clear.
Surely there's more you can tell me.
There is indeed much that we know that you do not. That does not mean that you are ready to understand it. Do not let your easy mastery of the voice tempt you into the arrogance of power. That has been the downfall of many Dragonborn before you.
I'd like to learn more about the voice.
You have learned so much already, Dragonborn. Growing your gift too quickly would be dangerous. But there are many words of power in Skyrim, carved in the dragon tongue. Even from here we can feel the Thum resonate from them. Finding these lost words would be a sufficient test to temper your abilities with experience. Ask when you are ready to search.
Have you located any words of power?
We have felt the whisper of a word. Give me your map and I will show you where its echo can be found.
Why shouts in the dragon language?
Dragons have always been able to shout. Language is intrinsic to their very being. There is no difference in the dragon tongue between debating and fighting. Shouting comes as naturally to a dragon as breathing or speaking. In mythic times, when mortal kind was in great need, the goddess Kinnereth granted us the ability to speak as dragons do. For most people, long years of training are required to learn even the simplest shout. But for you, the dragon speech is in your blood, and you learn it almost without effort.
There are only 4 of you?
5. Our leader, Parthenax, lives alone on the peak of the throat of the world. When your voice can open the path, you will know you are ready to speak to him.
When can I meet your leader, Parthenax?
As I said, you will know you are ready when your voice can open the path to him.
Tell me about the Greybeards.
We study the way of the voice, according to the teachings of our founder, Jürgen Windcaller. Very few are permitted to study with us here at High Hrothgar. But in your case, Dragonborn, it is a privilege to guide you towards mastery of your voice.
What is the way of the voice?
The voice was a gift of the goddess Kinnereth at the dawn of time. She gave mortals the ability to speak as dragons do. Although this gift has often been misused, the only true use of the voice is for the worship and glory of the gods. True mastery of the voice can only be achieved when your inner spirit is in harmony with your outward actions. In the contemplation of the sky, Kinnereth's domain, and the practice of the voice, we strive to achieve this balance.
Tell me about the Greybeards.
We study the way of the voice, according to the teachings of our founder, Jürgen Windcaller. Very few are permitted to study with us here at High Hrothgar. But in your case, Dragonborn, it is a privilege to guide you towards mastery of your voice.
Why don't the others talk?
Their voices are too powerful for anyone not trained in the way to withstand. Even a whisper could kill. Breath and focus.
Yeah, this one I'm getting ready to return to Whiterun. And I'm trying to unload my copious gear. There's stuff to do up there. Actually, this is quite close by. I'll check out this one next. Okay, in the interest of saving time, I'm just gonna go straight back to Whiterun. I need to unload stuff, and I need to unload all my stuff, and I'll get it done by the end of today. I just don't have much time left. Lydia's kind of a mystery. I don't know what happened to her. I'm gonna see if I can recruit another companion.
Blade and shadow, silence and death. These are my arts. For a modest fee, I'll make great art for you. Looks like you've got some help already. I'll join you, but you'll have to let your comrade go. What do you say? If you change your mind, seek me out here. Walk always in shadows, so that you will see your foes before they see you.
I need you to carry something.
Wait, I know you. What is it?
What are you looking at? I'm not afraid of you. No. Even if you are my
Got something for just about everybody in here. Give up. Everything's for sale, Oh, a bit of this and a bit of that. Do come back.
Okay, I'm going to try to resolve this problem with Lydia. I'll try to hire a new companion and see if Lydia returns to some sort of home, some sort of waiting point around here.
Blade and shadow, silence and death. These are my arts. For a modest fee, I'll make great art for you.
Consider yourself hired.
Looks like you've got some help already. I'll join you, but you'll have to let your comrade go. What do you say? Walk always in shadows, so that you will see your...
I have to let her go, but I can't do it because she's not here.
Death is my... I am an artisan, painting in strokes of blood red upon the canvas of life. But yes, I will take coin to fight at your side. After all, where is the value in creating art if there is nobody left alive to see it? Looks like you've got some help already. I'll join you, but if you change your mind, seek me out here.
I'm gonna grab some books and I'm gonna do the final reading. That was a mistake. I think that'll be sufficient.
This
Need something? Unlike the rest of my family, I've got work to do.
Okay, I'm now wrapping it up. The final readings. The final readings. Before the Ages of Man, Timeline Series, Volume 1, by Icontar of Shimmerane. Before man came to rule Tamriel, and before the chronicles and stories recorded the affairs of the rulers of Tamriel, in the events of our world are known only through myth and legend and through the divinely inspired teachings of the Nine Divine. For convenience, historians divide the distant ages of prehistory into two broad periods of time, the Dawn Era and the Merithic Era. The Dawn Era. The Dawn Era is that period before the beginning of mortal time, when the feats of the gods take place. The Dawn Era ends with the exodus of the god and magic from the world at the founding of the Adamantine Tower. The term Merithic comes from the Nordic, literally, era of the elves. The Merithic Era is the prehistoric time after the exodus of the gods and magic from the world at the founding of the Adamantine Tower, and before the arrival of Iskrim or the Nord in Tamriel. The following are the most notable events of the Dawn Era, presented roughly in sequence, and must be understood by creatures of time, such as ourselves. The cosmos swarmed from the Ioris, chaos or totality, by Anu and Padamai. Arctos, Oriel, formed and time began. The gods, Et Ada, formed. Larkin convinced, or tricked, the gods in creating the mortal plane, None. The mortal plane was at this point highly magical and dangerous. As the gods walked, the physical makeup of the mortal plane, and even the timeless continuity of existence itself, became unstable when magic, Magnus, architect of the plans for the mortal world, decided to terminate their project. The gods convened at the Adamantine Tower, Durandine Tower, the oldest known structure in Tamriel, and decided what to do, most less when magic did. Others sacrificed themselves in other forms so they might stay, the El No Fae. Larkin was condemned by the gods to exile in the mortal realm, and his heart was torn out and cast from the tower, where it landed a volcano point. With magic in the mythic sense gone, the cosmos stabilized. Elven history, final linear, began. Mythic Era, 2500. Merithic Era. The Merithic Era. The Merithic Era was figured by early Norse scholars as a series of years numbered in reverse order backward from the beginning of time, the founding of the Cameron dynasty, recorded at year 0 of the first era. The prehistoric events of the Merithic Era are listed here with the traditional Nordic Merithic dates. The earliest Merithic date cited by King Harold's scholars was Merithic Era 2500, the Nordic reckoning of the first year of time. As such, the Merithic Era extends from the Merithic Era 2500 from the Merithic Era 2500 in the distant past to the Merithic Era 1, the year before the founding of the Cameron dynasty and the establishment of the White Gold Tower as an independent city-state. According to King Harold's Barth, ME 2500 was the date of construction of the Adamantine Tower on Balfouria Island in High Rock, the oldest known structure of Tamriel. This corresponds roughly to the earliest historical dates given in various unpublished Elvish chronicles. During the early Merithic Era, the Aboriginal beast people of Tamriel, the ancestors of the Khajiit, Argonian Orcish, and other beast folk, lived in preliminary communities throughout Tamriel. In the Middle Merithic Era, the Aldmeri, mortals of elven origin, refugees left their doomed and now lost continent of Aldmeris, also known as Old El No Fae, and settled in southwestern Tamriel. The first colonies were distributed at wide intervals on islands along the entire coast of Tamriel. Later, inland settlements were found primarily in fertile lowlands in southwest and central Tamria. Wherever the beast folk encountered the elves, the sophisticated, literate, technologically advanced Aldmeri cultures displaced the primitive beast folk into the jungle, the marshes, mountains, and wasteland. The adamantine tower was rediscovered and captured by the Tirani, a prominent, powerful Aldmeri clan. The Crystal Tower was built on Somerset Isle, and later White Gold Tower in Cyrodiil. During the Middle Merthic era, Aldmeri explorers mapped the coast of Vardenfell, building the first high elven wizard towers at Aldredania, Balfell, Tal Erun, and Tal Mora and Morrowind. It was also during this period the alien wild elven settlements flourished in the jungle surrounding White Gold Tower, present-day Cyrodiil. Wild elves, known as the Heartland High Elves, preserved the dawn-era magic and language of the Elnofey, ostensibly a tribute land of the High King of Alinor. The Heartland's long lines of communication from Somerset Isle and sovereignty effectively isolated Cyrodiil from the High King at Crystal Tower. The late Middle Merthic era is the period of the High Velothi culture. The Chimera, ancestors of the modern Dunmer or Dark Elves, were dynamic, ambitious, long-lived elven clans devoted to fundamentalist ancestor worship. The Chimera clans followed the prophet Veloth out of the ancestral elven homelands in the southwest to settle in the land now known as Morrowind. Despite the secular culture and profane practices of the Dreamer, the Chimera also coveted the land and resources of the Dreamer and for centuries provoked them with minor raids and territorial disputes. The Dreamer, dwarves, free-thinking, reclusive elven clan devoted to the secrets of science, engineering, and alchemy, established underground cities and communities in the mountain range, later the Velothi Mountains, separating modern Skyrim and Morrowind. The late Merthic era marks the precipitous decline of Velothi culture. Some Velothi settled in villages near declining and abandoned ancient Velothi Tower. During this period, Velothi high culture disappeared on Vardenfell Island. The earliest Dreamer freehold colonies date from this period. The Degenerate Velothi devolved into tribal culture, which in time evolved into the degenerate Velothi evolved into tribal culture, which in time evolved into the modern great houses of Morrowind, or persisted as a barbarian Ashlander tribe. The only surviving traces of the tribal culture are scattered Velothi towers and Ashlander nomads on Vardenfell Island. The original First Era High Elven Wizard towers along the coast of Tamriel were also abandoned about this time. It was in the later Merthic era that the pre-literate humans, the so-called Nedic peoples, from the continent of Atmora, also Altamora, or the Elderwood, and Aldmeris, migrated and settled in northern Tamriel. The North culture hero Usgramor, leader of a great colonizing fleet of Tamriel, is credited with developing a runic transcription of Norse speech based on Elvish principles, and so Usgramor is considered the first human historian. Usgramor's fleet landed at Hisark Head at the extreme northern tip of Skyrim's Broken Cave. No one was built there, the legendary city of Sarthal. The elves drove the men away during the Night of Tears, but Usgramor soon returned with his 500 companions. Also in the late Merthic era, the legendary immortal hero, warrior, sorcerer, and king, variously known as Pelennor, Whitestray, Held, Harry Breek, Usmir, Hans the Fox, etc., wandered Tamriel, gathering armies, conquering lands, ruling, then demanding his kingdoms to wander again. And now we'll finish with A Beggar. A Beggar by Reven. Eslaf Errol, the last of the literal five born to the queen of the prosperous Nordic kingdom of Erolgard. Erolgard, Lapir Kopa, and her husband, the king of Erolgard, Utlua. Eslaf Errol, the last of the literal five born to the queen of the prosperous Nordic kingdom of Erolgard, Lapir Kopa, and her husband, the king of Erolgard, Utlua. During pregnancy, the queen had been more than twice as wide as she was tall, and the actual delivery took 3 months and 6 days after it had begun. It is perhaps understandable that the Lapir Kopa elected, upon expelling Eslaf, to frown, say good riddance, and die. It's perhaps understandable that Lapir Kopa elected, upon expelling Eslaf, to frown, say good riddance, and die. Like many Nords, Udlaf did not care very much for his wife and less for his children. His subjects were puzzled, therefore, when he announced he would follow the ancient tradition of his people of Atmora, following his beloved spouse to the grave. They had not thought they were particularly in love, nor were they aware that such a tradition existed. Still, the simple people were grateful for the little royal drama alleviating their boredom, which was and is a common problem in the Welsh parts of northern Skyrim, particularly in wintertide. He gathered his household staff and his 5 fat, born little heirs in front of him and invited his estate. To his son Unop, he gave his title. To his son Learnir, he gave his land. To his son Sruibud, he gave his fortune. To his daughter Lycafitra, he gave his army. Utlof's advisors had suggested he keep the inheritance together for the good of the kingdom. Utlof did not particularly care for his advisors, or the kingdom for that matter. Upon making his announcement, he drew his dagger across his throat. One of his nurses, rather shy, finally decided to speak as the king's life ebbed away. Your Highness, you've got to fear your fifth child, little Eslav. Could Udlov groaned? It is somewhat hard to contrary with blood gushing from one's throat. After all, the king tried in vain to think of something to bequeath, but there was nothing left. Finally sputtered irritably. Eslav should have taken something then and died. That a babe but a few days old, expected to demand his rightful inheritance, was arguably unfair. But so Eslav Erl given his birthright with his father's dying breath, could have nothing but what he had taken. There was no one else but half whom the shy nurse, whose name was Drusba, took the babe home. It was a decrepit little shack, and over the years the father became more and more decrepit. Unable to find work, Drusba sold all of her furnishings to buy food, but at last life. By the time he was old enough to walk and talk, she had sold the walls and the roof as well. They had nothing but a floor, so they had nothing but a floor to call home. And if you've ever been to Skyrim, you can appreciate that is scarcely sufficient. Drusba did not tell Eslav the story of his birth, that his brother and sister were leading quite nice lives with their inheritances, for, as we have said, he was rather shy and found it difficult to approach the subject. She was so painfully shy, in fact, he would never ask any questions about where he came from. Drusba would run away. That was more or less her answer to everything, to flee. In order to communicate with her at all, Eslav learned how to run almost as soon as he could walk. He couldn't keep up with his adopted mother at first, but in time learned to go toe-heel if he anticipated a short but fast sprint, and heel-toe if it seemed Drusba was headed for a long-distance marathon flight. He never did get all the answers he needed from her, but Eslav did learn how to run. The kingdom of Edelgard had, in the years Eslav was growing, became quite a grim place. King Unab did not have a treasury, he pursued, but had been given that. He did not have any property for Inca, for Lerna, had been given that. He did not have an army to protect the people for like a Fitcher, had been given that. Furthermore, as he was but a child, all decisions in the kingdom were through All decisions in the kingdom went through Unath's rather corrupt council. It had become a bureaucratic, exploitative land of high taxes, rampant crime, and irregular incursions from neighboring kingdoms. Not a particular unusual situation for kingdom. Not a particular unusual situation for Kingdom of Tamriel, but an unpleasant one nonetheless. The time finally came when the tax collector arrived to Drusba's hole, such as it was, to collect the only thing he could, the floor, rather than protest. The poor shy maid ran away, and Eslav never saw her again. Without a home or mother, Eslav did not know what to do. He had grown accustomed to the cold open air, Drusba's shack, but he was hungry. "May I have a piece of meat?" he asked the butcher down the street. "I'm very hungry." The man had known the way for years. Also spoke to his wife about sorry fell for him, growing up in a home within ceilings and walls. He smiled at Eslav, said, "Go away, or I'll hit you." Eslav hurriedly left the butcher and went to a nearby tavern. The tavern-keeper had been a former valet in the king's court and knew that the boy was by right a prince. Meantime, he had seen the poor ragged lad in the streets and saw the way fate had treated him. "May I have something to eat?" Eslav asked the tavern-keeper. "I'm very hungry." "You're lucky I don't cook you up and eat you," replied the tavern-keeper. Eslav hurriedly left the tavern. For the rest of the day, the boy approached the good citizens of Edelgard begging for food. One person had thrown something at him, but it turned out to be an inedible rock. As night fell, a raggedy man came to Eslav, and without saying a word, handed him a piece of fruit and a piece of dried meat. The lad took it wide-eyed, and he devoured it. He thanked the man very sweetly. "If I see you begging in the streets tomorrow," the man growled, "I'll kill you myself. There are only so many beggars we of the guild allowed in anyone town. You make it one too many. You're ruining business." It's a good thing Eslav Erl knew how to run. He ran all night. Eslav's story is continued in the book Thief. Alright. That's all for today. I'll play again tomorrow, starting at 12 p.m. and proceeding at 2 p.m. I'm David Ephraim Larkin, and goodbye for now.